Well, hello everyone, it's Jason. I hope you can hear me. Just a quick update. It is Wednesday night, May 16th, I believe, and this video update is going to be about SW1500s in my road, which is basically Burlington Northern, BNSF, and maybe a little ATSF. So for the first time, I've picked up a Broadway Limited BLI Paragon 3 SW1500 in Burlington Northern paint, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous if you ask me. Looks good, sounds good. Just arrived earlier today. I've test run it a little bit, and pretty happy with this. It's my first switcher with a sound decoder, which I've been looking for some time. I kind of looked at the BLI Paragon 2s and saw some mixed reviews on those, and once I saw these Paragon 3s, I decided to just take a leap of faith and jumped on one. I don't have the subwoofer that goes with this, but sounds pretty good to me. It's got a wide variety of functions. I'm not going to go through them all. This is just a quick update, but this is one of the newest addition to the railroad, one of two anyways. The other addition, which arrived a little earlier this week, was another gem. I've got it sitting on the box. It's not on the track because it doesn't have a decoder in it. It's still DC. So it makes that loud buzzing noise. Let me go ahead and mute the Burlington Northern there. So this is another SW1500 in BNSF. I believe that's Heritage 1 paint. And this thing is also absolutely gorgeous. Super detailed. Hoses on the front. These coupler cut bars actually move and pivot. Katy couplers. The trucks have been replaced. If you know anything about these, this is an Athearn Blue Box locomotive, and so if you know anything about the BNSF SW1500 in this road number, it actually comes with road trucks. Handrails are painted. It's got remote control decal on the cab. The bell has been removed per the prototype, and it's got these, I don't know if these are antennas on the top, but those are also prototypical. If you look up images of this SW1500 while it was in use, it looks exactly like this. The sunshades are on there. The windows are, some of these windows are blocked out just like the prototype. Turn around the back, we got more movable coupler cut lever. I think that's just fantastic. Again, MU hoses. Number boards are done up with the correct road number. It doesn't have a light in the back, so when I put a decoder in this, I may go the extra mile and put a light in the back, wire that up. Here's the other side, a lot more of the same. So again, need to put a decoder in there. It's also weathered pretty well. I would love to be able to get sound in this thing, but I think my options are pretty limited. I was looking at some TCS wall sound today. That looks like it has a pretty slim decoder. I have outfitted a couple of Athearn Blue Box SW1500s with decoders. I have no problem doing that myself, but there's really not any room for speakers. Now you could probably jam one up in the cab. That might be an option, but there's not a lot of room under this hood. I've always put in Digitrax decoders in these, non-sound decoders. So TCS wall sound, I think it's is it the T1? I don't know, it's just a basic non-sound decoder, and it's pretty thin. It fits pretty well up under the hood the long hood up in the front. So basically right under these, I think these are radiator fans or hood fans, whatever those are. That's the radiator fan perhaps. Anyways, it's pretty small and it fits up under here, but that is a non-sound decoder. And again, I think I'd be pretty hard pressed to get some sound here. But if anybody's got some suggestions, I'd love to know. But this is an awesome unit, and I've got it for just a steal of a price. One thing I didn't mention too is, let me get a uncoupler here. One of the details that I didn't mention is this thing has got, you can't really see them, but this thing has got brass steps, okay, etched brass steps that have been put in for each of these 3 steps, on all the steps all around the locomotive. So I thought that was pretty cool, and you can see they're also painted. The painting is done pretty well. Got painting on these steps up here. I don't know if these are brass steps or not. Now compare this locomotive to one that I bought back in about 2002 or 2003, the exact same locomotive. So I've had this one for about, I don't know, let's call it 15 years. Okay, for the most part this has been in storage. I took it out when I started building this layout 2 years ago. Now I also, this one not nearly as nice. I mean, I took the time to paint the handrails way back when, so you know, I was pretty proud of myself for doing that. So it looks better, but we can see the bells on there. I don't have the accessories on top of the cab. The windows aren't painted out. I didn't know anything about that. It's not weathered. It has no MU hoses or accessory hoses. One other detail I forgot to mention, very subtle, but if we look underneath here, we can see that the on that front plate, I forget the name of that thing, not the anti-climber, but where the plow goes on, if there was a plow, I forget the name of this part, but you can see that some styrene's been added, and this gap has been filled. Normally on an Athearn blue box, if you look, compare it to this one, there is there's a gap under there, so you can basically just take the shell right off without removing the couplers. Okay, but what the modeler that actually detailed this unit, he put, it's on the back as well. He filled in, did a great job filling in that gap down there. I don't know how well you can see it. So really nice job done on this thing, and he sold it to me for a song based on the amount of work that's been put in this and the parts and so forth. So really happy with this thing. We'll get a decoder in it, and not sure what I'm going to do with this one. Maybe keep it for spare parts. To be perfectly honest, this one stopped running real well. One of the trucks is kind of binding. I could probably take some time to fix it, but at this point it's going to be replaced with a super detailed version. So I'm really happy with this one. That modeler did a really nice job, so much better than I'm capable of. So you can see I do have a decoder in this one, Digitrax. You can see it through the window, so probably end up selling this one on eBay. So this layout will once again have some SW1500s roaming around. I do have another one. See if I can find it. It's down here. Yeah, this is my, oh no, that's the Lifelike drawer. That's the Atlas drawer. This is Kato. Okay, here's the Athearn drawer. I don't see it in there. Where is it? I don't see it in here either. I've got a Rock Island SW15. Oh, there he is. Looks like for whatever reason I've got some Athearns mixed up with my Lifelikes in here. But I've also got a Might as well pull this guy out as long as we're doing an SW1500 video here. So here's my Rock Island, beautiful unit. You can see this one's also fairly old. I got it about the same time as this one in the back in the early 2000s. This one was actually a Valentine's Day present to me from my wife, and that was actually before we were married. She was my fiance. So this one, I spent some time doing a little detailing, at least what I was capable of at the time. And so you can see what I did. I modified the handrails, so I looked at some pictures of the prototype. And the prototype 947 does not have handrails that go along the entire walkway. For whatever reason, they're non-existent here. So I cut these handrails, I snipped them, both sides. Get the other side there. And then I painted them. You can see there's blue there. What did I do with my stick? Oh, it's on the floor, sorry. White over here. Again, no hoses. I did cover up the number boards with white paint, and likewise I covered up these number boards on my other BNSF unit with black paint. And these also, I installed LEDs, bright LEDs in both of these units. So both of these units have LEDs in them with a resistor I put in. So that's my Rock Island unit. Now both of these units here, I also upgraded with NWSL wheels. Can't really see it, but they're black. Okay, and wheel upgrades. This one was upgraded as well. Compare the black colored wheels you see there to this detailed one. Still has the default, you know, those silver wheels that come with Athearn Blue Box units. So I'll have to decide whether or not I'll upgrade these wheel sets or not, or maybe I'll just take the NWSL wheels out of this BNSF unit, put them in over there. So aside from that, I got most of my gravel work done at the oil plant. I've kind of test fit the oil loading dock and the oil containers there. I need to cut out a section of gravel here so these sit down in there. I also finished putting in the dirt or ballast or gravel in the yard here on the left edge around the ground throws. I finished, well, I don't know if we'll call it finished, but I put on along the service road, I got the gravel in for the service road that leads to the engine house. So you can see some of it must not have been glued down very well. When I was cleaning up with the shop vac, it pulled some of it up, so I got a little repair work to do there. I also painted the road black where I was doing the patch job there. And as you can see, I got the chalks back out again. I was doing some more chalk work in the yard. I'll tell you what, on these chalks, these weathering powders, I originally got these three, and I think I talked about them in a previous video. But I really love these things. They do a really great job weathering the tracks and the ties and the ballast. There's a couple of colors I specifically like, which I think do a really good job. They look really good. So dark earth, medium earth, actually medium earth is over here in set A. Grimy black is a good one, so I use that a lot in the yard, and then a little bit of soot black. That's really dark. Now unfortunately in these kits from Monroe that I originally got, you just kind of get small sample sizes, and so they don't last nearly as long. I was able to do the whole yard with these, but I was pretty much out, and there was some other touch-up areas I wanted to do, plus I was going to want to do some more areas in some of the other industries once I get the ballast done. So I went ahead and ordered large quantities of my 3 favorite colors here. These arrived this week, so I got an entire bin full of medium earth, an entire bin full of dark earth, and an entire bin full of grimy black. I ran out of all 3 of these colors in these kind of trial sample sets, so these are going to be more than enough. I could probably do 3 layouts with the amount of powders that are in here, so I got plenty to get going now. So you can see I started using some of the powders over in Prairie Co-op. I don't know what I want to do for weathering here. I mean, to me this doesn't really look like right on that pea gravel. I got to figure out what kind of weathering I want to do on these tracks before I go nuts. This is already dark now. I mean, I can easily lighten that up by putting some light earth and some gray chalks in there. But for now, this is kind of the medium and dark earth color here. For a while I had it grimy black, and that didn't look right at all on top of the pea gravel. So, and I also did used a little bit of the chalks over here in the oil docks. Much less and much lighter, so I got a mix here of those earth tone chalks, and plus just a little bit of the grimy black. You can see it kind of here, but I don't want that. I really don't want these darker colors to dominate that lighter pea gravel, because it is quite a contrast, and you can see, I mean, that's very evident over here, and that's kind of why I don't know, it doesn't look right to me. Maybe we you know, call this whole area pea gravel. Maybe this is kind of dirt in here. I mean, that would work. But anyways, I'm going to end the video here. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.